now we're on episode 13. Yeah, we're on 13. And I think before I jump down, I'm going to look around a little bit. It might look a little different. I mean, if you look in the top right, it says experimental build. I'm on update 8, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, hello everybody, it's Deanspillabean back on your screen and playing Satisfactory on the 20x20 world. So yeah, as I said, now in update 8, or at least the experimental version. I wanted to update the world earlier, but there was a weird bug that was going on with my power storage units that basically crashed my game every time I got too close to them. But only when they were running, so it was something with the particle effects. But whatever they did, the devs did to actually patch the experimental print, it actually fixed the bug. So now we're in update 8. The Satisfactory froze. Just trying to see if the crash happens again. Oh no! I'm just going to delete 4 of these only. This is temporary until later. Okay, so supposedly if I re-enable this again, if I get too close, then I should be... Nope, no, I'm not safe. Okay, well, good news is, as long as I don't go into the center of my power storage area, I should be fine. I'll need to investigate that at some point. Just as a reminder, experimental build, this is all experimental. Okay, so quick rundown of what actually changed, and then I'll actually start the episode. Basically a huge performance change, just because the entire engine is now different. Which also means there's a lot of bugs that people didn't actually know was even possible before. There's definitely notable improvements in terms of like the game running better. And I think the power storage bug is probably the only game crashing thing that I've encountered. I'm still not even sure if it's the power storage. Okay, I'm getting really off topic. What are we doing today? We're gonna work towards nuclear power. I've been wanting to get into nuclear power for a while now, and I'm kind of in the home stretch. I don't think we're able to get into it and finish today. We might be able to, hard to tell. But first things first, we need a hazmat suit. And for that we need gas filters. We need iodine filters, but in order to go and get those, we need gas filters. And I might like to have these in production, just for the sake of having them in production. I don't need too much. So I need fabric, rubber, and coal. The coal and rubber I got. I don't have anything for fabric yet. In order to get fabric, I need polyresin and water. Water I got. Polyresin, I need to check if I have that. As for sources of polyresin, I do know there's a chunk of it getting made for fuel production. As for what I'm actually doing with all the resin, it is getting reprocessed into rubber. I think the rates are actually perfect in that like almost nothing gets over. Although I'm pretty sure I'm making more rubber than I actually need, so I can probably just take one of these out. Actually, hold on. Since resin and water is already coming in here, can't I just convert it into fabric? Let's see, polyresin fabric. Yeah? And yeah, I can. You should make gas filters. Get those hooked in. And I think I do have a little bit of coal coming in here. So I think I'll just conveyor belt the excess coal over into it. Hooray! Now it's making filters. And it doesn't have to be so many, it's just enough to get by, really. And I won't need too many to get this unlocked. Boom. Bam. Boom. Onward.
Milestone
reached.
Do you now
have a hazmat suit? You can now be protected by uranium-based radiation. So we need gas filters, quick wire, and casing. Okay, not too bad. I can just make another manufacturer here. So, here's fine. And I think for aluminum casing, I'm just going to place down just a Mark 1 conveyor belt. Get that routed all the way to the manufacturer. I'm also gonna just change out how this quick wire gets out of here. And then get that routed Also just gonna put up a sign for fun. Because nothing says safety without giant bold letters that tells you exactly what's being made. Maybe I should do this at some point, just like go around my whole base as messy as it is and just plop down random billboards. Although I don't know if that's gonna actually work out, mostly because there's a lot, and I'm not sure, I might think on that. But anyways, gas filters, aluminum casing, quick wire, and that's all coming together to make some filters. Okay, while that's being made, how do I make a hazmat suit? Fabric, sheets, plastic, and rubber. Okay. Clink, 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 clink. Hazmat suit completion. I now have a yellow suit. Actually, I think I can probably see myself if I... Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, and they also fixed the equipment getting like disconnected from you in the hybrid. That's so nice. And speaking of filter, yeah, you know what? That's enough. I think that's enough to pack my bags, hit the road, and go exploring for some uranium. So, how does one search for some extremely valuable uranium? Well, it's a lot easier than you think. You just hit your scanner and then you press the button. Boom! And eventually you find uranium. Eventually you find it. Alright, I got a ping. There's uranium. Okay, there's a second uranium. So, as you can see, you look at everything. Oh, there's a third one. Okay, so as you can see, look at all the things that are around. And then you look at where the uranium is. There's just like 3. There's not that many. And that's sort of one of the limitations with nuclear power. It's just... Oh, it's got a new model. Ooh. So, one of the issues with nuclear power is that uranium is fairly limited. You gotta go pretty out of your way in order to actually get it, so we're gonna go out of my way to get the stuff. And oh, poisonous rocks. Oh, I get to show off a feature, hee. Alright, so cool new thing you can do in this update. There we go. What are you doing? So yeah, you can actually destroy those fart rocks now, which is pretty nice. So supposedly, around this area is where there's going to be some uranium. But, oh! Okay, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I don't know how I can leave either. Uh-oh. If at any point you find yourself outside of the map and you can't get back out, just do this. Ooh. There we go. Let's see, so the uranium is somewhere around this location, if I recall. Only 600 meters away. Okay. So, from my calculations, it should be in this area, around this waterfall. Now, is it around the waterfall, or inside of the waterfall? I feel like it should... Ooh, here's a cave. And there's some uranium. But we're not here for a flimsy, singular deposit. No, we're going deep into this. Somewhere in this cave is a uranium deposit. There it is, and it's guarded by a spider. Well, time to set up a little base of operations. So, a problem with uranium that you might be noticing is that there's a radiation level just kind of constantly ticking away. And that is definitely something to be a little concerned over. Mostly because if I'm not careful, if I lose out on all of my iodine filters, I will just kind of die by radiation. So obviously that's not quite ideal. Which is also why I wanted to make drones. Anyways, drone port 1 up. We'll put up a second. That connected. Get power connected. I'm also gonna put in some batteries in these. Mostly just to actually have them ready whenever everything's set up for them. Alright everybody, time for a lesson in radiation aura. So, it's been a little bit since I started having the drones get in the uranium store. Now notice, about here is where the edge of the uranium zone is. The closer I get, the more intense the radiation, and if I take my hazmat suit off right now, I would die. Like, I would just straight up eviscerate. And notice, the further I get away from that area at least, the less uranium. So, uranium is stronger the more quantities there is. Like, I'm standing right next to some of this uranium and it's not too bad, but the moment I get within range of, like, actual storage of it, it reaches maximum. So yeah, this is why hazmat suit's important. So, I'm gonna need to be a little careful where I actually have my uranium stuff, because I don't want parts of my base to be completely irradiated, unless it's like for a really good reason. Anyways, the other uranium is in this direction, so I'm going to... Oh yeah, I can show this off. So, right here, we got ourselves a new power tower. These are cool. They come in two forms, either a platform version or a non-platform version. So, all I gotta do is avoid the projectiles. It's basically a normal cable tower, except it has a huge increase in range. Like, it can reach all the way to here. Is that a purple slug? Yum, 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 yum. Oh yeah, main benefit of these is that you can place them at an absurd distance. And they pretty much come pre-ready for zipline transportation, which is really cool. Anyways, supposedly the uranium is over here. Maybe there's an area around here that actually has a cave down into... There's the cave. Time to go exploring. So the uranium in question is somewhere down in the abyss. Man, this cave goes on for a while. Oh, there it is! It's the uranium. I don't have enough wires to actually get this complete, but I'll see what I can do. There we go. Batteries in whenever you get it ready. And anyways, plugged into the miner, and now it should start getting uranium. There it goes. Here's the green gold. Okay, that should be all of the uranium requirements ready. I just need to head back to base, make sure I have all the other subcomponents to actually make some other uranium stuff. And then we'll bring them into the base. We'll see how that goes. Okay, uranium drones are on standby as soon as I get those available. Okay, what do I need? So first off is encased uranium cells. Those require sulfur, concrete, and uranium. Uranium I got ready, I just need to get drones in. Concrete and sulfur is what I need. Going back to my battery factory, I'm bringing in a lot of limestone that's used to convert all of the wastewater into concrete. So I can use that, but there's most likely going to be a case where this isn't going to be running, so I'm just going to have limestone pumped directly into their own refineries or constructors to make concrete. As for sulfuric acid, it is being made over here, although that's going to be a little difficult to make sure it gets correctly made. So, alternative, there's a pure sulfur node here near one of my train lines, although that's going to be too difficult to actually get trains in on that, so I'm probably just going to put a drone there. And as for steel, I'm actually making a ton of it as a byproduct from my plastic refining. This can run about 3,600 steel, something like that. Or was it 3,100? It's 3,000 at least. So I can use the steel to make steel pipes and steel beams that are going to be used to make stators and encased industrial beams. Stators in question are used to make the electro control rods that also need AI limiters, of which I also have automation for in the radio production area. So I can easily get these AI limiters, combine them with stators that I can make from a bunch of wire that's from this copper line here. There's actually a lot of these copper furnaces that aren't even being used here right now, so I can probably send those up there, convert them into wires, combine them into steel pipes that I make from the steel ingot factory on the far area. That way those make stators, control rod. There we go. Those are all combined with AI limiters to make control rods. And then there should be the encased beams, uranium cells, and the control... Did I actually get everything done already? Okay, besides like the sulfur and like some of the concrete, but like, do I already have everything already? Damn. I actually planned. Well, I guess I better get started. First off, I gotta get a bunch of this concrete made. So, refineries. I'm gonna place 2 of these down. Set them for wet concrete, which will make 80 minutes. Get concrete ran to them using smart splitter. Default forward, overflow left. There we go. And get all the water run over to them. And there we go, that is excess limestone being used to make concrete. Next I'm going to need steel beams and pipes. Splitter, splitter, splitter. Then all I gotta do is just power up everything. Get the steel sent up. So, with the steel done, time to go get the sulfur node ready. Ah, here it is, right next to some of the local wildlife. I remember some time ago when I was afraid of the swamps. Now, I'm just wary of them. But anyways, drones are in. And sulfur is connected. Well, looks like that's the sulfur ready whenever I get a drone on the other end. Okay, back at the base, time to get some drone ports up. Make sure that gets powered up. As well as getting the batteries hooked up to it. Batteries! Now I just tell the sulfur drones to go to this port. And they should be making their way here any moment now. Oh, there they are. Next I gotta get wire. Which, do I even have anywhere up here? Ooh, there's a spot. So 240 wire and 120 ingots, okay. Oh wait, I could probably use Caterium instead. Because I get more wire. Ooh, you know, that is kind of tempting. I do have Caterium here. You know, I'm gonna do it. Okay, let's see how much wire I can get out of this. 120 each using 15 a minute, so 30. It might end up being more than what can actually be used, which actually is fine for me. Now I just gotta connect it with the rest of storage. Okay, wire's getting sent up and into a storage container. Nice. Now for AI limiters. Again, got another thing here already making them, so I just gotta get it connected up top. And get that connected. Okay, that's AI limiters as well. And I got concrete over there, and I don't think I need it in this pile. And uranium is gonna be in another area entirely. I'm not even gonna bring that in until I get production set up. I think the last thing I need is water for the sulfuric acid. Then I should be able to get it started. Or at least make it so that I can start getting encased cells. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Mostly, so each pipe holds about 600. And I know I need about 5,000 water up there. Divide that 8.3. How about we have 9? So each of these unpackagers unpackage at 120 water each. 600, divide that by 120 is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Wait a second. Did I miscalculate? Segments have 4. There's 3 segments in each, so 6. Plus 16. 112. 112. Multiply that by... Only 13,500. Oh, wait. Okay, so this is actually half of what I need. I thought this was 25,000. No, it's just half that. Oh. I guess I'll make some more of these unpackaging stuff another time. Should the need arise, of course, which might end up being a lot sooner than I realized, but honestly, I think I have enough water for now just to get my nuclear reactors running. Maybe I should have figured out a way to get the water a little bit closer, but oh well. Sorry, not sure what came over me. Okay, so I got the water up and running, as in it is now up and running. And it's pretty much just 9 pipelines going up the wall and into some buffers, some large ones. Okay, I think that should be everything ready, I think? Or at least ready enough to put everything together and get it to work. So, let's get started. Okay, first things first, sulfur. So, sulfuric acid requires 50 water and 50 sulfur for 50. I need about 300 for this build, so I'll need 6 of these. Alright, so I'll start by getting some water. Get all of that connected. And now, also need sulfur coming in. There we go. And I just gotta make sure everything's connected to an out pipe. And then also make sure that I get power. I'll definitely change where everything's hooked up at another time, but for now, they're working. Okay, sulfuric acid's done. On to, I guess, I'll do encased beams. And I just need 12, and the base one can make 6 a minute. So I can probably just tuck the assemblers here. There we go. So I guess next thing is stators, and I'm going to need a bit more room. So I'll need 6 assemblers just for the stators. Alright, stators are done. On to getting... What? Why is there just a floating wire? I don't think that's right. That was odd. Well, anyways, now it's time for the electro control rods. That connected, have a thing over here, so that goes bam. Okay, so that's encased beams production ready, as well as electro control rods ready. The only thing that's left now is the encased uranium cells. Oh boy. This is the part where I hope I did everything right and I got all my calculations correct. Because I'm about to bring in uranium into the place. Let's see, where do I want the drone at? I'm thinking kind of far off from the main build, just so the buildup of uranium doesn't get too crazy. Okay. Here you go, buddy. Here's some power. I'll even be so nice as to give you some batteries. Hello, radiation. Hello, uranium. Welcome to the 20x20 world. Behold uranium. There should be enough space for all of the liquids to go through. That's my assumption. Okay, it looks like everything's up and running. Sulfur's getting introduced, and encased uranium cells are being made. As for the other excess sulfur that's getting sent off to another few blenders that just make some more, but it basically tries to use up all of the extra sulfur from any of these productions. Now, what do I need for uranium fuel rods? Just double checking stuff. Looking at math, I need 10 manufacturers to make 4 uranium rods. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Is it just music getting a little radiated in here?
See, how radioactive are these things? I know they're like radioactive, but like, oh. Oh wait. Well, no wonder I'm very irradiated. I've been holding them in my hand this whole time. Okay, I believe everything's hooked up. I'm just waiting very patiently for you. This electro fuel rod, so I can get at least one fuel cell. It takes like 3 minutes for one cell. Goodness!
It's almost done. Your first fuel rod.
Whoa, whoa, there it is. It's a little hard to see. But there it is, the uranium fuel rod. Yay! Now I think I just need to get nuclear reactors up and running, which I could probably fill in this area. Okay, think I'm ready. Here we go. Right, here's the first power plant. It's a lot bigger than I thought it'd be. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I just gotta go around and give them enough power shards to get overclocked. I find it funny that the reactors have taken up just as much, if not more, space than all the manufacturing I got here. I also gotta make sure I have a drone port set up just to get a lot of the waste out. And I don't have anywhere for the waste, do I? Ooh. So, what is my plan for dealing with all the waste that the nuclear reactors will make? Well, in Satisfactory, you have two options. You can either store it away forever and just not deal with it. The other option is converting it into plutonium, which I don't have the infrastructure for that quite yet. So, for the time being, until I actually get the stuff required to do such a thing, I'm just gonna store it all away somewhere. Although I will say, while it is nice to have all of the storage here, there will come a time where I just will run out of storage, and I'll need to convert it into plutonium stuff or do something about that. Since I don't have enough stuff for plutonium production yet, and I'm in very desperate need for some form of power, I'm gonna deal with the plutonium another time. Okay, now for the real question, how much storage is this? Let's see, so there's 6 industrial containers, 2 sets, so 12 per row, 3 rows, so 36, and an additional 12 singulars. Singulars are a 3 by 9, industrials are a 6 by 9, so 3 times 9 is 27. 27 multiplied by 12 is 324. Industrials have 6 by 9, multiplied by 12, and then multiplied again by 3. So I have 2,268 slots, okay. And waste can be stored in up to 500, so I have over 1,134,000 storage, specifically for nuclear waste. So the nuclear reactors create about 200 nuclear waste in total. So divide all of that by 200 a minute, and it'll take 5,670 minutes. Divide that by 60, and that's almost 100 hours. Okay, so every one of these storage modules is an extra 100 hours of time that I bought to store the waste. Huh. And looking at my world save, I only met like 3,500. So let's say we were prolong the inevitable by 300 hours. Well, in order to get to where we need to go, we're going to need to catch a train. Woohoo! Because with how this nuclear waste works, we're going to need to go really far. We're going to go really far down here, and then go even further to where this marker is. Because over there is a very large cave that should suffice for now. So yeah, we're going to need to travel quite a ways. I have a train that goes all the way out here anyways, mostly due to there being a rich amount of oil here. Now I just gotta figure out where the entrance to that cave was. Because I haven't been here in a while, and I think it's down this cliff. Oh, is this it? Yes. Yes it is. I'm having second thoughts about actually storing waste in here. Although what I can do is store it off the side of this cliff. So I think I might just do that instead. I just gotta connect these up. Now, that is some storage. Never gonna look at it again until I get into plutonium production. Although, that's gonna be a while. 'Cause I don't think I'm gonna be actually doing plutonium stuff until like way later. Alright, so now whenever it gets any waste, it'll get sent into here. That just sends it all into giant rows of storage, inevitably ending up over here at the end. So I think that should be good. So now, since I got somewhere for waste to go, I can actually properly get this up and running. And I think, okay, looking around and recalling how this works, if I plug this in, that should plug into my whole system, because this actual jetpack shaft has a bypass into my power system, so it should be fine. Now I just gotta get the water hooked up. Unfortunately, how my power system is laid out at the moment, I'm gonna have to turn everything on to get specific stuff up and running. At some point I'll go through and make sure only the essentials actually get the power they need. Let's see, so steel pipes are getting made, wire, steel beams, sulfur's in, AI's in, cool. Okay, everything should be running in case beams are getting made, and the manufacturers are slowly but surely getting the control rods they need. And now I just look at this graph until it bumps up the capacity. Oh, what was that? I saw a spluggle. What happened here? Somewhere here. Why was that up by like 20? Hello, Mr. Uranium Fuel Rod. Might you please get to a nuclear reactor soon? Take your time. I mean, I could upgrade it to Mark V just to make it faster. It should be okay. Oh, I can see it now. There it is. What was with my hands? But yeah, just the one reactor alone is enough to double my capacity, which is absurd. Anyways, I got another 7. Well, you know what? From the looks of it, it seems to be this whole system is functioning properly. I mean, they're mostly cycling on and off currently, but that's mostly because their fuel may or may not be available. But it works, and I don't have to worry about the problem down there. Oh well, that'll be for another time. Well, I think that's going to end the episode. Kind of a long time coming, but got nuclear power now. Woo! Wonderful! But yeah, whenever all of the nuclear reactors actually get the fuel that they need, I can get a whopping 50-something thousand megawatts of power. More than enough to sustain my entire factory, so that's nice. I think at maximum, the total machines, if they're all running at the same time, is about 32,000 megawatts, so I can now run my facility now instead of like portions of it, so that's pretty good. I'm probably going to go through and rewire a lot of my power infrastructure just to make sure cables get sent to the specific places, because if I'm not careful and I turn off something at some point just the wrong time, and it also involved actually making the fuel to power the generators themselves, I might have an issue. So just to kind of not have that, of course there's the giant power storage sector, just so I have enough time to fix my issue. But basically I'm going to have to reroute a lot of cabling just to make sure that like essential stuff gets powered from the fuel generators in the basement, and then the nuclear reactors basically just power literally everything else. So as powerful as the nuclear reactor stuff is, there is definitely a huge infrastructure cost, because you need stuff to power the machines that actually make the fuel to put into the generators, as well as energy to get the water in there. So you need energy for that, and you can't use your nuclear power to actually do that. Because if you run out of fuel at some point, how are you going to power the machines to make the fuel? You see, that's the issue. So that's why you need backup generators. As for the nuclear waste, I have bought myself about 300 extra hours of time before I need to deal with that, which I should be able to get into plutonium development and just fix that issue by recycling all of the waste into plutonium, and either reroute it to my nuclear reactors to be turned into fuel, and then I get plutonium waste at some point, which is still a lot better than the regular nuclear waste, and it takes a lot longer to generate that. But that's not next episode. I think next one, I'm gonna try and get into turbo motors. I mean, I already have the radio units, and radio units is one of the components to make turbo motors, so I might be able to get those next episode. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's gonna be the next one's focus. Anyways, I think that's just gonna be it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, at least some amount, and, well, you all have a good night.